see. Ball's not moving for them.
They've almost degraded into it.
Stephen Curry once made 77 consecutive three-pointers in a single practice session. While that number is staggering, the truly unbelievable part is the speed. He releases the ball in under 0.4 of a second, a speed faster than the average human eye can even blink. This isn't just about practice, it's about a perfectly engineered system of motion. In the next 12 minutes, we will dismantle the myth of the perfect shooter and rebuild it from the ground up, focusing on the powerful, yet often ignored concept of shooting rhythm. We'll unpack the biomechanics that make Curry a statistical anomaly, and most importantly, I'll guide you through 5 specific drills designed to instill this championship-level rhythm into your own shot, revealing a secret that has more to do with your feet than your follow-through. So, before we break down the first drill, let's try a quick experiment. You don't even need a basketball. Wherever you are, stand up and mimic your shooting motion. Feel the sequence. Now ask yourself one honest question. Where does your shot really begin? Is it a conscious effort from your arms and hands, or does it feel like a wave of energy flowing up from the floor? Pause for a second and drop your honest answer in the comments. Your current habit is the key to unlocking your future potential. Here's a surprising truth that contradicts decades of coaching. The concept of a single perfect shooting form is a myth. In fact, chasing this imaginary ideal is likely the very thing holding your shot back. Look at the greatest shooters in history. Ray Allen's form was different from Reggie Miller's, and both look different from Klay Thompson's. Their genius isn't found in identical elbow angles or follow-throughs. It's found in a perfectly synced, repeatable rhythm that transfers energy seamlessly from the floor to their fingertips. When you're forced into a box that doesn't fit your natural body mechanics, you become mechanical. You start thinking about your elbow instead of sinking the shot. That hesitation kills your power and shatters your confidence. Your body already knows how to be athletic. The goal isn't to look exactly like Stephen Curry. It's to understand the principles of rhythm that allow him to be Stephen Curry. The first step is a mental one. Stop copying and start building a fluid motion that is uniquely, powerfully, and repeatably yours. Forget perfection. Chase repeatability. So what exactly is this elusive rhythm that separates good shooters from the truly elite? 1. Think of it less like a metronome and more like a whip. The devastating crack of a whip doesn't come from its tip. It's the result of energy starting at the handle and accelerating in a perfect wave. Shooting rhythm is the exact same principle of kinetic energy. It is the uninterrupted sequential flow of force starting from the moment your feet press into the floor, surging up through your legs and core, transferring into your shoulder, and finally exploding through your fingertips. It is one kinetic chain, not separate pieces. When a player has bad rhythm, this chain is broken. Their legs might go up while the ball is still coming down, forcing their arm to do all the work. This leads to wildly inconsistent shots, sometimes too strong, sometimes too short, because the power source is unreliable and changes with every attempt. The immediate takeaway is this: stop thinking of your shot as disconnected steps. Don't think dip, then jump, then shoot. Start to feel the shot as one single seamless motion flowing from your toes to your fingertips. Picture a drag racer trying to launch with its tires spinning uselessly on ice. You see a lot of smoke and hear a lot of noise, but there's zero traction and no real acceleration. This is a perfect analogy for a shooter whose feet aren't properly connected to the floor. The ground is the ultimate source of all power in a jump shot. It's where the entire sequence begins. Stephen Curry's true genius is his ability to connect to that power source faster and more efficiently than anyone else on the planet. His footwork is so precise that he loads his hips and legs, like compressing a massive spring, in a fraction of a second. Whether he's catching and shooting or pulling up off the dribble, power isn't created by the arms, it's transferred by the body. When your feet are slow, lazy, or inconsistent, you get no traction. Your entire shot sequence is delayed, forcing your upper body to muscle the ball toward the rim. This makes your release slow and your shot flat. The takeaway is to reframe your focus completely. For your next practice, forget the ball for a moment. Instead, obsess over the speed and balance of your footwork. Your hands should only begin the shooting motion after your feet are set and ready to explode upward. To build a truly rhythmic shot, you must master the space where the ball lives just before it begins its ascent. This brings us to our first drill, the pocket dribble shot. If you watch Curry closely, his final dribble before a pull-up jumper isn't separate from his shot. It's the first step of his shot. He gathers the ball low, around his hip or waist, in what we'll call the shot pocket, and flows directly upward from there. There is zero hesitation. The drill itself is simple but transformative. Stand 10 feet from the basket. Take one single hard dribble. As the ball rises off the floor, your goal is to flow from that bounce directly into your shot without any pause. Do not catch it and bring it to your chest. The dribble is the first part of the shot. Let your hands meet the ball near your waist and go straight up from that low pocket. For the first 50 reps, don't even worry about making the basket. Your only goal is to make the transition from dribble to gather to release feel like one uninterrupted wave of energy. You are rewiring your muscle memory to eliminate the hitch that kills rhythm for 99% of players. Here's an insight that will challenge everything you've been taught about shooting. Stephen Curry doesn't release the ball at the top of his jump. He releases it on the way up. This isn't a stylistic quirk. It is the master key that unlocks his impossibly quick release and seemingly infinite range. The traditional method teaches players to jump, hang for a split second at their apex, and then shoot. A distinct two-motion sequence. Curry has eliminated that pause. He perfectly synchronizes his release with his upward momentum, effectively turning his entire body into a single catapult. He lets the ball ride the wave of his jump. By releasing the ball while his body is still ascending, he transfers every ounce of power generated by his legs directly into the shot. When you wait until the peak of your jump, that precious kinetic energy from the floor simply vanishes, forcing your arm to become the primary power source. This makes the shot slower, requires more muscular effort, and drastically shrinks your effective range. So, the actionable takeaway is this: begin to feel the connection between your jump and your release. The goal is to feel as if your legs are directly pushing the ball toward the rim, while your arm is merely there to guide it. So how do you train a complex feeling that happens in less than half a second? You slow it down, you exaggerate the motion, and you build it from the ground up. This is drill number 2, the form shooting progression, and it is designed to burn that one motion release into your DNA. Start directly in front of the basket, about 1 foot away. Without jumping, focus only on the feeling of your legs and your shooting arm extending together in one fluid sequence to push the ball in. After a few makes, take a step back. From here, add a tiny jump, just enough for your toes to leave the floor. Your entire focus is on one single thing, timing the release of the ball for the exact same moment your feet leave the ground. You are timing the release to the jump. As you make a few in a row, take another step back. As you move further away, your jump will naturally increase in height. But that core timing must remain locked in. The moment you feel any separation, any sense of jumping then shooting, you've gone too far. Step back in and find that perfect rhythm again. This drill isn't about making shots. It's about making the motion automatic. Imagine a master drummer in a jazz ensemble. He isn't just keeping a steady beat. He's listening, reacting in real time, and finding the perfect pocket of silence to unleash a lightning-fast fill. This is how Stephen Curry operates on the basketball court. His shooting has a second, higher level of rhythm, a rhythm of opportunity. Because his physical shooting motion is so automatic, his conscious mind is completely free to process the chaos of the game. He reads the defender's momentum, the angle of the screen, and the location of the help side protector, all in a fraction of a second. Your body shoots while your mind reads the game. Players who still have to consciously think about their form, get my elbow in, follow through, are always a full step behind. By the time they have processed the mechanics of the shot, the defensive window has slammed shut. This is the crucial difference between an open look and a heavily contested miss. The actionable takeaway is to introduce controlled chaos into your training. Stop only shooting stationary shots. Have a friend provide a light, unpredictable closeout. Use a chair as a screen and practice shooting on the move. You must train your body to find its rhythm, while your mind is busy solving the puzzle of the defense. We are at the halfway point, and we've already shifted our entire perspective, from chasing a mythical perfect form to building a powerful, repeatable rhythm from the ground up. We've laid the foundation and installed the first 2 drills, but the most game-changing insights are still ahead. We're about to dive into advanced drills that simulate in-game pressure, break down the single biggest mistake that sabotages even the most athletic players, and explore the mental framework that fuels a shooter's unshakable confidence. If this deep dive is helping you see the game differently, take 1 second to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video, where we'll deconstruct the art of the deceptive layup. You don't want to miss that. Now, let's get back to building your shot. A perfect shot in an empty gym is one thing. A perfect shot after sprinting 20 feet to an open spot with a defender closing out is the skill that wins championships. This brings us to the next level. Drill number 3, the Relocation Challenge. This drill is specifically designed to test your carefully built rhythm under the pressure of movement and fatigue. Stephen Curry makes a living off this skill, constantly relocating without the ball to find a sliver of space. Start on the wing, just inside the three-point line. Spin the ball out towards the corner with enough backspin that it hangs there for a moment. As the ball is in the air, you sprint to that spot. Your focus is arriving balanced, with your feet set and your hands ready just before the catch. The shot is made. Before the ball ever touches your hands, your goal is to flow into your rhythmic, one-motion shot with zero hesitation. The same way you did while standing still. Your feet must stop before your hands start the upward motion. This drill is demanding, but it directly translates practice to performance, forcing you to maintain core mechanics when your body is in motion and your lungs are burning. Master this, and you stop being just a shooter. You become a constant threat. The single most destructive flaw in a jump shot has almost nothing to do with your guide hand or your follow-through. It's a subtle but devastating timing error that happens in a blink. The moment your upper and lower body become desynchronized, fighting against each other instead of working in perfect harmony. You see it constantly. A player begins their jump, their legs extending upwards, but the basketball dips down slightly before starting its own upward path. That tiny, almost imperceptible hitch is a rhythm killer. It completely severs the kinetic chain we've been talking about. By the time the ball is ready to be released, all the explosive power generated from their legs has vanished into thin air. You can't fire a cannon from a canoe. This single flaw is the #1 reason players have limited range and a slow release. They are forced to muscle the ball with only their arm and shoulder strength. It's an inefficient, exhausting way to shoot. The critical takeaway is this: your body and the ball must begin their upward journey at the exact same time. The instant your hips begin to rise, the ball must also rise. So how do you weld your upper and lower body back together, forcing them to work as one cohesive, powerful unit? You use a drill that gives your muscles no other choice. This is drill number 4, the one-motion flow drill, and its only purpose is to eliminate that disastrous hitch between your gather and your release. Stand at a comfortable mid-range spot. Instead of starting in a normal stance, you're going to get uncomfortably low, squatting down while holding the basketball at knee level. From this single, exaggerated starting position, your only goal is to rise up and shoot in one uninterrupted fluid motion. The ball in your hips must begin moving upward at the exact same instant. The rise of the body powers the rise of the ball. Because you are starting so low, it is physically impossible to dip the ball any further, which forces your body to correct the timing flaw. This will feel strange at first, but it is the fastest way to reprogram your muscle memory and teach it how a truly connected shot feels. Your arm should feel like it's just going along for the ride. Don't count your makes. Count the number of times the motion feels perfectly smooth and effortless. Imagine 2 tightrope walkers crossing a high wire. The first is looking down, nervously analyzing their feet, consciously correcting every tiny wobble. The second walker looks only at the platform on the other side, trusting their body to make thousands of automatic micro-adjustments. Who makes it across? A shooter's confidence operates the same way. It isn't arrogance, it is the earned result of trusting your training so deeply that you can focus entirely on the target, not on your mechanics. Doubt is the enemy of a fluid motion. The moment you start thinking, is my elbow in, or did I follow through? Your rhythm shatters. You become the tightrope walker staring at their feet. You start aiming the ball instead of shooting it, introducing physical tension that destroys the very fluidity you've worked so hard to build. This is why a player can hit everything in practice, but freeze up in a game. Their trust is in the outcome, not the process. The actionable takeaway is to fundamentally change how you measure success. During your drills, Stop obsessing over makes and misses. Instead, judge each repetition by one criterion. Did that feel rhythmic? By building unwavering trust in your process, confidence in the result becomes inevitable. Confidence isn't found by simply hoping for the best. It is forged by deliberately and repeatedly succeeding under manufactured pressure. This brings us to our final and perhaps most important drill number 5. Pressure cooker free throws. This is a mental challenge disguised as a shooting drill. The rules are brutally simple. You must make a set number of free throws in a row to finish your workout. Let's say your goal is 10. If you make 9 and miss the 10th, your count resets to 0. The perceived pressure on that last shot feels real, mimicking the intensity of a late-game situation. This forces you to stop thinking about the outcome and to concentrate entirely on the process of the single shot in front of you. Every shot is the only shot that matters. When you are on shot number 9, you cannot think about making it to 10. You must only think about executing shot number 9 with perfect rhythm. This drill trains your focus like a muscle. Start with a goal you can reach, perhaps 5 in a row, and slowly raise the stakes as you improve. It teaches you to quiet your mind and trust your mechanics, a skill that's more valuable than any physical tweak you can possibly make. So, let's bring it all together. The art of elite shooting isn't found in a rigid textbook or by chasing a perfect static form. It's about building an unbreakable personal rhythm, a seamless kinetic chain that starts with your feet and ends with a splash. By focusing on a fluid one-motion shot, eliminating the hitches that kill your power, and forging true confidence under pressure, you transform shooting from a mechanical task into an athletic art form. You stop aiming and you start flowing. If you're ready to apply this same philosophy to the rest of your game, check out the video on the screen now where we deconstruct the art of finishing at the rim against bigger defenders. Thank you for your time. Now, go put in the work. The content provided in this video is for informational purposes and does not constitute professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed.